Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. And this is our legend segment tonight. And I'm your host, Bobby Butler. And I got with me tonight one of the greatest cornerbacks in FSU history. We got so much in common. He comes from the great city of Quincy, Florida. It's about 20 miles west of Tallahassee. That's where my maternal side of my family comes from, Quincy, Florida. We got tonight, guys, with us, number 32, Mr. Leroy Smith. Leroy, welcome to the show, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate everything. That was a great introduction.
Hey, we got to introduce you right, brother. We got to bring you in right now.
Brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, bro, listen, man. You are Florida State royalty.
Yes, sir.
And we got a strong tradition of, defensive backs that come out of Florida State.
Absolutely.
And you and I met some years ago helping young kids doing football camps, man.
Absolutely.
And we've been brothers ever since. And I've been waiting to have you on the show for a long time. Man, and so listen, before we get started, though, let me ask you one quick question, because I did see you last week at the funeral, Coach Bowden's funeral. Before we start, talk a little bit about Coach Bowden and why you chose Florida State and your Bowden story.
Actually, I was always a Florida State fan. Okay. I love Florida State. Like I said, I was 20. I'm 20 miles from Tallahassee. I was always a player fan. Like, I love the DBs. Dion, T-Book, Leroy Butler, because Leroy Butler had my name, right? Oh my God! And then when I was coming out, it's odd. I'm this little small kid from Quincy, Florida, and I'm in the ninth grade, and I'm my sister is at Florida State, right? And
oh wow, okay.
And she had me around Peter Warwick and all those guys, and I'm still this little, snot on college campus, just looking, just going to the games and things like that.
Right.
So, me going to Florida State, it was a liking to the atmosphere, liking to the players, to the tradition. It was just in my spirit. So, and Coach Bowden had I used to watch the Bobby Butler show every Saturday, Sunday before NFL football came on, right? So man, I just loved Florida State, and then the legacy of the great cornerbacks, man. That was great. But Coach Bowden, let's talk about Coach Bowden. I did this interview with BNC, and I let them on. Bobby Bowden showed me about greatness. Surround yourself. First identify and surround yourself with greatness, and then you will be great. You understand. Coach Bowden had a plan. It seemed like it was mapped out. In and already, it's like God just told him, "Hey, this is your life.
It's your life." Right.
So he had to think about it, and this is what I took from the funeral. You think about Coach Bowden, then you think about how was his success. And I asked him, 2010, I asked him, Coach Bowden, how are you successful? He told me a couple of things, but this is what I got at the funeral. I said he had a great wife.
Yeah, he did.
He had a great family. No, first, let's take it back. He served a great God.
Amen.
He had a great wife, which made him have a great family.
Right.
He had great assistant coaches, which helped him have great players, which made him have a great team. Then he had great fans. He had a great life.
Man, hey, that hit it in a nutshell. Because Leroy, it's about prioritizing.
Yes, sir.
Keeping first things first, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm telling you, man, he lived that way. I call him a preacher with a whistle around his neck, right? Yes. But now, when I don't know what kind of coach he was by the time you got there. But when I was there, he was a young guy.
You fiery?
Oh, he was fiery, get in your face. Hey, he wasn't messing around.
No.
But everybody loved that man, right?
Yes.
We didn't want to let him down.
Yes, sir.
So whatever he had on him, we didn't want to let him down, and we played that way. We played hard. We were a blue collar football team. So let me tell you this. So you and I was talking a little bit before the show.
Right.
What we did in high school, right? So when I was in high school, I was a quarterback. You were a quarterback, right?
Yes.
I was a quarterback, so that meant in practice I had on the red jersey.
Right.
You don't hit me in practice, right? I was everything in high school. I was a quarterback. I played safety.
Right.
I was a punt returner. I was a punter my whole 3 years in high school.
Athlete.
All right. I was deep on the kickoff return. The only thing I didn't do, I didn't run down on the kickoff team, right? So I get one break in between. After I held for the extra point, I want to stay on the sideline. We kick ball off. I step back on the field, right? So I did all that. So I was pretty much what I call a white collar football player.
Yeah.
I didn't get dirty.
That's me.
I didn't get dirty, right?
That's me.
So now I go to Florida State. So I had this view. I had my own personal goals. My first goal was I want to make the traveling team as a freshman. I want to travel. I don't want to be left home when they're moving. I want to be on the sideline. My mama, my daddy, my aunt and them, my grandmama and them, all of them going to see me on this TV when we play on TV, right? So I wanted to travel. And I had my mind made up. Now, remember, I was an offensive player. I was offensive minded. Right. So I kept saying, now that I'm playing defense, I'm going to be the punt returner. And so I would go and look at the punt returner. Now, we had a guy named Bobby Jackson, who's a great punt returner, but he was injured, right? And then we had a guy named Nat Terry. And I'm watching him going, look, man, this job is mine. Because they can't run the ball like me. I'm sorry. They can't tote the tater like me. and so I'm in practice, man. I'm going over to shag punts every day in practice. And one day, on my way over there, the guy who was the defensive coordinator and the DB coach, his name was Jack Stanton. That was before Mickey.
Yes.
And he cut me off one day. He said, Bobby, I'm going to tell you right now, ain't no freshman going to return no punts for me. I don't care how good you are.
Ooh.
He said, if you want to play, you need to get your little blankety blank down on the other side of the field and learn how to block punts. So Leroy, I look down there.
Yeah.
They come up the line diving with no mat now. That's the old days now. No mat. Ground first. Bam.
Oh boy.
Lay out. Bam.
Oh my God.
And I had a moment right then. I said, you know what? I am not a white collar football player no more.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, I got to do what I got to do.
That's right.
I went down there and took it up. I was always coachable. I'm going to do what my coaches asked me to do. I might not like it, but I'm going to do it. So, bro, how about I go down there? That was 1977.
Woo.
And what this year is now, 2021?
Yes, sir.
I am still the all-time leading kick blocker in Florida State history.
I know. I used to watch. This is man. This motivation to me. I'm telling you, it's epic for me because before tour days, they had a film that I think everybody need to go look at. They had you on there, you Bobby Jackson, you Dion Leroy, brother T. Bull, and I watch you block those punts. So when you were telling the story, they just took me back to what I saw. It took me back, that little slim guy coming on.
Hey, let me tell you something. So I played football a long time, right? I got a lot of pictures, right? My favorite picture was a picture they shot of me in Florida State. My sophomore year, we was playing Navy at home. And I was blocking a punt. I was coming in, and I got this, I'm in the air. I got this perfect swan dive, like I was on the diving board. I'm just straight arching my back, just laying out like that, man. The best picture I got in my house.
I gotta get my, you talk about moments. I'm listening chills through your body right now, man. My favorite, I have a favorite picture. Okay. My favorite picture is Clemson recruited me. I almost went to Clemson. I committed.
Thank God. Hallelujah.
And Tommy was trying to get me. Boy,
hard.
Tommy Bowden was trying to get me. He had me. He had my mom. my mom knew I loved Florida State. She loved Florida State too, but
Of
Tommy,
course. Her baby
I don't
was
know, Tommy played to her. Tommy funny. He's just like Coach B, but played Clemson. The year before, Clemson stopped us from going to the national championship.
Right.
03.
Right.
So my senior year, man, and I gave up a pass, didn't give up a touchdown, but it was a pass that helped them get a field goal, and I was mad. I thought about that thing all entire year. So my senior year, we played them at home. So, man, listen, I watched film. Bob, I've never watched film so much in my life. That week. So, cause I just wanted revenge. So, man, I watched film. So, I seen what they was running. I studied. I seen that they was running this particular play on second down.
Okay. All right.
Where the receiver, took his split down.
Okay.
So he taking his split now. He gonna go under route. Or he doing an out route.
Right.
So 80% of the times he did out route. So guess what? They was leading us. We they was ahead of us. Man, listen. I saw the play. It was just like a slow motion.
Right.
Man, listen. The receiver took his splits down. I know they're not going to run this play. I'm talking to myself. I know they're not going to run this play. Oh man, the running back adjusted. Oh my God, I know they're not going to run this play. I'm excited. My hands started sweating, so I had to calm myself down during the play. So man, Charlie Whitehurst, he audible.
Okay.
And snapped the ball. Man, listen, I just stayed there. I didn't even move. I backed up about 12 yards. Mickey Andrews got mad at me for doing it. And I didn't move.
Right.
He ran the 10-yard out.
Oh, catered by the dough. Go
down, picked the ball off. I took it to the house, but this is the picture. ABC took a picture of me running the ball. In that picture, my entire family was in the picture yelling.
Oh, wow. Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
My entire family. So,
wow.
My dad, my sister.
Wow. That's big, man.
They like big. And I show them this picture. We always
laugh. Man.
That's amazing.
Big.
That's amazing right there.
That's amazing right there. Hey, Jeremiah, you got that foot? Go ahead and run that thing for me.
That's amazing.
There we go. All right, Jeremiah, we're gonna see some of your plays, man. We're gonna.
I did all right.
We gotta bring the people back. We gotta bring their members back,
man.
That day, because Leroy, man. Hey, one thing about you, man, and it's about the FSU DBs. I mean, we're just not DBs. We're playmakers on defense.
Oh man, I want to make every.
I mean, we'll get that ball, put that ball in the end zone now.
Yes,
that's what we do, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what we do, and so that's one of the things that we were good at. We get a turnover, and we'll put 6 points on the board, and we'll make that thing happen, man, in a minute, man. We'll make it happen in a minute.
I started that.
Here we go,
man. That's.
There you go.
Man.
There you go.
That's all right. Hey, I made.
Nice.
I made the quarterback thing. I was in a man-to-man, but I was in cover 2.
You were in cover 2 right there. I can see where. There you go.
Man, listen, I broke on it. I was kind of nervous. I was a little sophomore,
Oh, you're a sophomore that year?
Yeah, man. We were playing against one of the best Miami teams ever established in history.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
This against Andre Johnson.
Whoa! That's Andre Johnson right there.
That's Andre Johnson, man.
Bro. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah,
what I'm talking about. Right
there. Miami. That's me.
There you go. Go get him. You gotta get him now.
That's that 4.3 speed right there.
That's that 4.3 right there. See, that's what we do. See, here we go. I
cut it back. I told him, I told Donnell Doc he should have went and hit the quarterback.
Exactly. Instead of looking back.
Yeah, he looking back.
Man, go get the nearest person and block somebody. Come on, man. You've been doing this your whole life. Go find the nearest person.
We practice that, man. What you doing?
Every day.
I think Coach Steele for that we was in fire zone. I was undisciplined on that play because I just broke. I believe what I saw and I broke.
Right, exactly. Exactly. You know, sometimes, you can't exchange instincts for nothing.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? Sometimes we may do something a little uncharacteristic because of instinct.
Right.
You smell it, you taste it, you
feel it. You
feel it, man.
Yeah.
You get in that zone, man. You have to just react and do what you do.
Now this game, I was in the zone right here,
right?
Because Miami, man, you had to be in the zone with playing that game.
Oh yeah. They had some ballers, man.
And this game, they were talking about. I'm gonna tell you.
What's up? Come on, baby.
I'm tired, like right now.
Hey, you know how I can tell? The head back a little bit. There it is.
Now that's historic. We was in South Bend, man, and I cried when Notre Dame beat Florida State in '93.
Oh, absolutely. When you were a kid, right?
Yeah, I cried. So to be able to do that.
Wow. And at South Bend.
And not a 90-yard interception pass. Brady Quinn, first round quarterback. So
that was Brady Quinn?
That's Brady Quinn.
Oh, you got him, bro. You got him.
I baited him.
Wow. You got him, Doc. You got him, Doc.
I'm telling you, I was tired. Hey, man. And that was a shutout, 37-0.
What? Y'all put that thing on like that?
Yeah, man.
But that's what we used to do. bro, we got to get back to that. And I'm hoping it's going to happen soon. Boom. Oh, hey. Look at that. Look at that. I love it, man. Hey, I love it. Now, they probably throw you out the game for that now.
Yeah.
And you didn't even go through them all the way. They throw you out the game right now.
Play right here. This is the play.
Oh, there it is. Clemson. Oh, Tommy was hot then.
Oh, yeah, he was hot.
He was hot then. That dadgummit boy should have came up here with me.
Yeah, man. This clip. ABC took a picture of this and all that. Look at my chin strap. None of them buckled up.
That's a swagger.
I had to run for the black wristbands. I had to run for my belt hanging. I had to run for.
That's that swagger, man. That's that swagger. Hey, that's awesome, man. Well, yeah, I want to show some of your highlights, man, because
I was okay. That was a couple of them. I had a little bit more because I tell the kids that I mentor that. Okay, I led Florida State in turnovers my junior year. But my senior year, they didn't throw the ball to my side, and I only allowed 144 yards the whole year.
Oh,
that's like 12 yards a game, and I had to let them, catch it. Or it was crazy getting action.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you get your name. When your name is out there, and they start to respect your game.
Yeah,
and then the discipline at that point, Leroy. The discipline at that point is you got to stay focused.
You're right.
Because they won't throw it on your first quarter, second quarter, late in the third quarter. Then all of a sudden you sleep over there.
Yeah.
And then they hit you up, right? Yeah. So, hey Jeremiah, you can take that off now.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you this. All of those plays that I've made, it has something to do with me playing basketball, playing quarterback,
right?
Of seeing what you guys did. I'm telling you, I used to watch that video before every game and before every 2 days.
Right.
The video of the greatest Florida State DBs.
Absolutely.
And that was my motivation. I want to be like this.
You're right. Absolutely.
Kids, we was more visual, but these kids these days are more visual. But to be able to see the legacy.
Bro, listen, man. Listen.
It increased my confidence.
Whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve.
That's right.
And so you look at records, track records, any kind of record, right?
Right.
Some people say, well, nobody ever run that fast. No. Once somebody do it, the next generation is watching.
That's right.
And I promise you, somebody gonna put that in their mind, and they're gonna go out there and they're gonna run faster.
That's right.
Right? Because you just think about any record. Records are made to be broken.
That's right.
Nobody would ever thought that Usain Bolt would have did the things he did, especially in the 200 meters after Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson.
Right. He said it. He put it out there. But look what happened. Usain Bolt came a few years later.
That's
bang. Right. All right. Now, my grandson, 2036, gonna break those records.
Yeah.
I'm prophesying right now.
Right now,
I prophesy. My grandson gonna break the records.
I hear that.
Hey, you heard on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
I encourage you.
That my grandson, Braden Butler, gonna break the records.
That's all right. That's all right. I believe.
But anyway, but yeah, it's just like that. So Leroy, one of the things that I love about this show, I get a chance to talk with people, right?
Yes, sir.
And the thing that really get me is talking with guys from my hometown. So when I was a kid, fourth, fifth grade, before integration, during segregation, we had all black high schools, all white high schools. But our all black high school, Carver High, bruh, I can't explain the athletes they had on that team, right? The last 2 years of the all black high school in Delray. And those guys were my heroes. I got a chance to see them play. The quarterback on that team, I can't even explain it. Leroy, I can't even explain what this dude did, right? He was a monster of a player.
Yes.
Maybe about 5'9". I'm gonna say Popeye probably about 150, 155 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. But can throw the ball like some of these big wig quarterbacks that are 6'4", 230. That's how he threw the ball. In 1968 and 69, in 2 years of high school, now think about the era.
Of running the ball.
They ran the ball, right? He threw for over 4,600 yards.
Get out of here.
I'm just telling you. Now, the boy had weapons like nobody else. When I tell you he had weapons, dude, he had weapons, right? And so, but they were really a passing team because of his gift.
Yes.
But they kept 3 running backs that can tote the tater.
Oh my God.
So they just loaded. They're just loaded, man. And we don't even want to talk about defense. Linebacker Randy Strong. We don't even want to talk about that. Barry Hill was a free safety on that team. Barry Hill and a guy named Lawrence Hunt. We call him Big Daddy Hunt. Mm-hmm. Both of those guys really kind of broke the color barrier from going to all HBCUs to go to college. They went to Iowa State. I saw Barry Hill and Lawrence Hunt on TV when I was a kid. Wow. Now, I watched them in my neighborhood. They were already my heroes.
That's right.
But when I saw them jokers on TV, they played in the Sun Bowl. I'll never forget it, man. I was a little kid. And I'm watching it. And I'm thirsting for that same thing.
Come to you. Yes, sir.
I'm thirsting because I see it with my eyes. I'm inspired, right? And to this day, man, I'm going to tell you, to this day, when I talk to those guys, this is no joke. I still get nervous.
Wow.
Because they're my heroes, man, right? And look here, I love talking to them. I may call them anytime, right? Just start off a conversation, man.
Right.
So I love those guys. But it's the same thing when you were watching Pete play at Florida State.
Yeah.
You was watching all these guys before you, T-Buck, Leroy Butler. You were right there in Quincy watching it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
See, you were blessed in that sense. Now, when I came along, Florida State didn't have tradition like that. All right, we had no tradition. Remember, Coach Bowden took over the team in 76.
76, yes.
They went 5-6. They had a losing record. Mm-hmm. But those 5 wins was enough to keep the alumni and people happy because they only won 4 games the previous 3 seasons.
Correct.
Right? So he come in and win 5. And then my freshman year, he recruited our class, me, Ron Simmons, Ken Lanier, Ernie Sims, Reggie Herring, Paul Porowski, Rick Stockstill, Bill Capiz. I mean, I can go on and on and on, right? So Sam Platt, he recruited us, and we went 10-2.
Yeah, I remember.
My freshman year, right?
Went to the Orange Bowl?
Not that year. We played the Tangerine Bowl my freshman year.
Tangerine Bowl, yes.
But we beat a Florida team that, to me, probably was the best, had the most talent on it out of any team we played that year.
Really?
We went down to Gainesville and hung them. When I say hung them, hung them.
Yes, sir. Yes,
we put about 38 points on them. And bruh, they had Terry LeCount playing quarterback. They had Wes Chandler, the great Wes Chandler, playing wide receiver, probably the best receiver in the nation. Playing wide receiver. You had Tony Green. They ran a wishbone. Tony Green was playing one back. Willie Wilder from Haines City was playing another back. ML Carr was a fullback. And then you had about 3 or 4 Gaffney brothers on the team. Bro, they were loaded.
Crazy.
We hung them in the swamp. Bro, when I say we hung them, right? And so that was the beginning. And so not only after winning that game, our record was 9-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
We went on and won the Tangerine Bowl against the Texas Tech team that was pretty good.
Mm.
We put
they ran the option. No, Texas option. They ran a lot. They ran the ball a lot.
Texas Tech ran the ball a lot, right?
Yeah,
right. But see, our defense though at that time was a senior laden defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bobby Jackson was a left corner. Man, I can't tell. Listen, man. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, how was it playing with Bobby?
Oh man, I learned so much from that dude, man. Oh my gosh, I can't explain it, man. I can't explain it. Some of the things he used to do versus the run. Forget pass coverage. Right. The way he handled the run, the way he would blow plays up. I didn't think that was possible. But I watched him. I started doing the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because I kept saying to myself, well, he's shorter than me, but he's bigger than me, right?
He's wide. Okay, he's wide.
And he's bigger than me, and he was stronger than me. But I saw him doing it. I said, he's doing it. I can do it.
That's right.
I started doing the same thing. I started watching him. I started doing the same thing, right?
That's right.
But what a great mentor to have when you're a freshman, to have a Bobby Jackson playing in front of you. And then on the other corner, you had Ivory Joe Hunter playing the boundary corner. Ivory Joe Hunter had the best footwork I ever seen in my life.
Stop playing, Bobby.
Bruh, Ivory Joe Hunter had the sweetest footwork I ever seen in my life. Sweet, just sweet. And then we had a strong safety, a guy named Mike Kincaid, who's a 46 quarter runner.
Ooh, he ran.
Strong safety. And then our free safety was the fastest on the team, Nat Terry. He was a 4.3 guy.
Oh my goodness.
All of them were seniors though.
So that helped you grow up.
Oh man, what you talking about?
Yeah.
So after that season, I go in the spring. They moved me from corner because I had never played corner until I went to Florida State. I played corner my freshman year. Then because Nat Terry graduated, they moved me to free safety for the spring. Right? They moved me to free safety for the spring. And then Monk Bonasart was playing free safety. Remember Monk, right?
Yes.
So Monk had a great spring. So in the spring game, they moved me back to corner. I had 2 picks in the spring game, and then here's the fall,
Yeah.
And so here's the fall come around, and then me, I'm starting strong corner. Monk Bonasart starting free safety, and Keith Jones starting strong safety.
Bro, corner opposite of you.
Well, that year, Ivory Joe Hunter was that year too because he was a junior my freshman year.
But you had a vet.
Yeah, he was a seasoned vet back there. He was a leader of the secondary, and then we had them. But me, Monk, and Keith started 3 years together.
That's special.
And let me tell you something, man. Those guys right there, they couldn't run a lick. But bruh, let me tell you right now. Smart and intelligent.
Yes.
Being at the right place at the right time.
Yes.
Never blew an assignment. Yes. Keith Jones was the biggest hitter in the secondary.
Come on, man.
Oh man, you look at some film on Keith Jones. He's knocking folk out.
I love doing that.
Keith Jones. Keith Jones was probably about 175, 180 pounds back then.
Stop playing.
Yeah, that's all he weighed. And Monk came in a little bigger, but but our sophomore year, Monk had trimmed down. I'm saying Monk played about 190, maybe 200.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monk led the nation in interceptions 1 year. And another year he was leading it before he gave it up to somebody. It was just smart players, man, who was always in the right place at the right time. So I knew Keith Jones playing strong corner. He was a strong safety. When he had coverage on the inside, when I had inside help, he was going to be there. He was not going to be out of place. Now I played 12 years in the league. I can't say that.
And I was about to I want to ask you this question. You have your gifted athletes. I've been coached. I know you did. You did camps. I'm pretty sure you did some coaching, and I coached. And I had my opportunity in the NFL. You played, got drafted the first round. But I'm starting to realize I would prefer a kid that is not that is not so talented, that's smart.
Oh, absolutely.
Versus the kid that's really athletic. You know, don't get me wrong. You want that dog. You want that athlete.
You want it, but
you want a disciplined dog. You want a disciplined athlete.
There you go.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
I've had teams and seen teams lose with great
athletes,
players.
That's right.
But their players did not gel enough to be the best in the best team.
Right. Well, now what Leroy with me? You know, like I said, I've been out there a long time and I've seen it all. Right.
Yes, sir.
And I learned something from my college coach, Jack Stanton, the guy who coached me. He used to be on me, man, all the time, right? Just for no reason. And I'm like, why is this guy? and Leroy, this is how I am. This is how I was as a player, right? I never said anything crooked to my coaches. Yes, sir. No, sir. I always smile. I did everything my coaches asked me to do. I was never going to be a challenge for my coaches, right? But I couldn't understand why this dude was always all over me. I mean, he would. I mean, one time he said I did something that I didn't do. And after mat drills, we should run our 40s and sprints outside on the stadium, right? Yeah. And then after that, he made me run 10 stadium stairs for something I didn't even know what he was talking about. Leroy, but guess what? I don't argue with him, Leroy.
You did it.
No, I run him.
You go run him.
You know, you said I did. Okay, let's go. Because see, that's my household was that way, right?
That's right.
My dad was military. He was a preacher, but he was military, right? Very strict, very disciplined in my household. So I did it. And so I couldn't understand until my junior year. He called me in the office one day. And I was like scared when he called me in the office, like, man, what this dude want? Because I'm telling you something, Leroy, I can have 2-3 picks in a game.
That's right.
I can make 8 tackles.
I
can do everything right. Yeah. And after a game, he would not smile at me or come at me and say, son, you did a good job. Now, one time, right? So, you know, I just suspect that he's just that guy, right? He ain't gonna give you credit for nothing, right?
Right.
And anything you do something, anything that you would do right, he'll find something. You know, maybe I ain't catch the ball with my thumbs in.
Yeah, that sounds like Mick Andrews a little bit.
Right. I mean, he was looking for stuff.
Something, right?
You know, I just picked the ball off and went to the house.
Yes, sir.
But I should have caught it with my thumb, things like that. So he called me up to his office, right? He called me up to his office. And he said this to me. He said, Bobby, I just want to let you know, you've been doing a great job since you've been here. He said, you know, you've done everything I asked you to do. He said, you work extremely hard. He said, when the pro scouts come around here for you, he said, I'm going to tell them all. I'm going to tell them all that.
Wow.
He said, I'm going to tell them all that. He said, but what I want you to start to do, I want you to start coming up here half hour earlier than other guys. I want to go over some things with you every day before we have our group meeting.
Come on, man. That's special.
Hey, bro.
Leader, he would give you the.
He gave it to me. But what he was doing and what he said to me, I never forget what he said. He said, typically when guys have the ability like you, they don't work hard. They don't study. He said, but that's not you. He said, that's why I've been riding you. He said, I just want to make sure. It's like, wow. Wow, that was big. Now, here's the other thing. After my 4 years at Florida State, he coached me 2 years in Atlanta.
He went to Atlanta?
Yep. After he left Florida State, he coached me 2 years in Atlanta. And bruh, now you can't coach grown men like you coach kids.
Right.
It don't jive. It don't jive. Right? So he came here with that mentality, and he expected me, because I knew him, he expected for me to be a great example. And I was going to do that anyway. Right. You know, and so the guy was such a hard guy that when I would, you know, before my first few years in the league, Leroy, I would, you know, we would sit around and talk about where we came from, everybody.
Right.
We're talking about our old coaches.
Right.
And when I would tell them about my coach, Jack Stanton, nobody believed me when I tell the stories.
That's what we.
Oh, man, go over with that crazy. Man, ain't nobody doing that. I said, man, I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, man. This is what this guy, I would tell him some of the stuff. No, man, ain't nobody doing that. So when Dan Henney called me up to his office, he was the head coach of the Falcons at the time.
Yes, sir.
He called me up to the office. He said, Bobby, he said, tell me about your college coach. I started smiling. I started telling him about Coach Bowden, right? and you know, I was, and I didn't know why he was asking me this. Then he stopped me. He said, no, not him. The guy who coached you. So now, I went like this. I'm going like, well, and I don't want to say nothing wrong. I want to say the right thing.
Right.
I said, tough. I said, tough. And I said, well, I'm really trying to think, right? And then I say, he coached the details, right? And I'm looking for another word, and he just stopped me. He said, that's okay. I just want to let you know, I just hired him.
Oh.
I go, huh? So that day, Leroy, I go home, man, and I call everybody up in the secondary. Because, you know, back then we didn't live in Atlanta. You know, Pridemore was living in West Virginia. Earl Jones was living in Alabama. Kenny Johnson was living in Moss Point, Mississippi. I called him up. I said, remember that guy I told y'all about? Dan Henney just hired him. I said, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. When y'all come to camp, you better be in the best shape you ever been in. Because if you're not in shape, you ain't going to make it.
Wow, that's what you told him.
That's what I told him.
That's what you told him.
Leroy, in footwork drill, you know, footwork drill is the first thing you do after you warm up, right?
Yeah.
People passing out in footwork drill.
Stop playing.
I'm not, bruh. I am not kidding you, man.
That's not like those guys they play with you. Stop playing.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you. And with the Falcons, guys were falling out in the first 5 minutes of practice.
Wow. They weren't ready.
Because his whole deal is when we did footwork drills, we did it, you know, he'll put the starting unit out there.
Yes.
And then the second unit like that. And if y'all not together in unison, we're gonna keep doing it over. And then when you get tired, when you get that drunk feeling, bro, you done.
Yes.
And he gonna make you line up again. We ain't even started practice yet.
He got y'all pre-practice.
Bro, I learned all that at Florida State. You know, you make sure you get with your guys who can get this thing done. Just like mat drills. You don't want to go in mat drills with a group of guys who don't know what they're doing, because that's what gets you in mat drills, doing it over and over and over again.
Over and over.
And if you do it over and over again, bro, you done. Hey, you gonna throw up in all those garbage cans on the wall, right?
Everybody, hey, that's when your teammate want to fight you when you get a bad group.
You get a bad group. So I learned that my first practice at FSU in the mat room. No, you can't go with these guys here. You know, you got to get with Monk, Keith, get with Irish Joe, get the guys who work.
Yes, sir.
And let's get this done.
Let's
get this done. So he coached me like that, and so. But I love being coached like that, because I tell you this right now.
Where's he from?
Jack Stanton?
Yeah.
He's originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
He's a Pittsburgh guy. And he played college football at NC State.
Okay.
He played safety at NC State. Was a good player. Got released from the NFL team, played in Canada a few years, and then start coaching, right? And he would tell us this. He would tell us this, Leroy. He said, you know, I played, and this was my same experience. He said, I played for guys who coached like me. He said, I played great for them. When I look back, man, I played great. He said, then I played for guys who were like players, coaches. He said, I was mediocre. He said, so I want to push kids. You know, I want to push them. I want to be that knee in their back to make them be the best player they can be.
That's real. And
I agree. I agree with that 100%. When he coached me, I was balling, bro. When he came to Atlanta, I was balling, bro. I was balling, boy. I was balling. So that's it. You know, at the end of the day, you know, getting that, it's hard to coach athletic kids who are not willing to work, who think, because I'm gonna tell you this, Leroy. When I was in high school, I was the best player on the field. Every game. Ain't no question about it. When I was at Florida State, I was one of the better corners in the country. Ain't no doubt about it. I had to play 2 times a year. When I played Florida, it had Chris Collinsworth.
He was slow, but he ran with
He was 6'4". See, he was a big guy. He was 6'4". He wasn't slow. He won the 100-yard dash in the state.
Really?
Our junior year, he won it.
Chris Collins, he looked.
But that's a whole nother story. He really shouldn't have won it, but he won it. I give him credit. He won it with a time of 9.9. You know, 9.9 don't even let you go to the finals in the state of Florida. You know that. That was a 100-yard dash when he was running a 100-yard dash. You know, the fastest guy in our class was running a 9.1, but the top 12 guys got injured or jumped the gun or something, was disqualified for that state title game. But you can't take it away from him. He won it, right?
Okay.
So he had good speed. I would say he's probably like a 4.5 40 guy.
Yeah.
For, be a 6'4", 200-pound kid.
That's good.
Yeah. And he ran great routes.
Yeah.
And he ran full speed with his routes. So he's a good player. And then a guy named Martin McDowell, who played for Mississippi State. He was a good receiver. Played for the Vikings for a little bit.
Martin McDowell.
And so after those 2 guys,
you just chill.
You better not throw it over there. That's all I'm saying. Leroy, you better not throw it over there. And even with those 2 guys, I'm gonna put it this way: I caught more passes on Chris than he caught on me.
Wow.
So that's the deal right there.
Wow.
So, but getting back to it, I like the way my coach coached me. He coached me hard, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
But then when I got in the league, I learned some things that I was in a nightclub one night. I had a cousin who owned a jazz club here in Atlanta named Bobby Butler. He was an all-pro NFL running back. And he had a jazz club. And one night I was in this club, and the great Lem Barney. I don't know if you know who Lem Barney is.
Lem Barney.
Lem Barney was Dion in the 60s.
Come on now.
Came to every game in a limousine.
Swag.
Had on that. Oh man, he was pimping, bro. Him and got doggone Walt Frazier with New York Knicks point guard. Bro, they wasn't playing. So anyway, so he saw me in the club, and Cannonball introduced us. And he said, "Man, I've been watching you." He said, "Man, you can cover." I was like, "Man, thanks." Lem Barney's a Hall of Fame corner, right? I was like, "Wow, you watching me?" Wow. He said, "Then he told me you can cover us." So then he asked me, he said, "Man, how much film you study?" I stuck my chest out like this. I said, "Bro, I don't study film." Leroy, he cursed me out like I was his son.
Come on, man.
He cursed me out.
That's good, though.
Took me in the back office, broke it down to me in Cannonball's office. I'll never forget it. Broke it down.
That's love, man.
And man, I picked it up. I took that baton. I ran with it.
That's love, man.
And I started studying tape. Man. And then at that time, my next coach after Jack Stanton in '85, a guy named Fred Bruni, with the Eagles, they came down. He was a secondary coach. He taught me how to study that tape. And when I started studying that thing, and I saw how easy the game got for me.
How much you wanted?
Oh, bruh. Oh my gosh. So I started at that time keeping a book of information.
Come on, man.
On all the players.
Yes.
All the offensive coordinators, because in the NFL, they get fired and they end up somewhere else running the same crap.
They recreating that wheel.
Right? They're not recreating it. They run the same crap. So I kept that thing. I was studying, and I was building from a personnel standpoint to a coaching standpoint. And then when my boy Prime Time showed up in 1989, I sat that young fella down. Listen, let me tell you something. Now you said something a few minutes ago about kids with talent. Here was a guy who had possessed more talent than anybody who ever played corner. See, a lot of people don't know Dion about 6'2".
Yeah.
He came in one night, 98. He was one of the biggest corners in the NFL when he came in.
Big hands.
bruh, and can I run everybody out there?
Yeah, I run everybody, including the cars out there.
No, including the cars. No. Hey, Leroy. He used to do things on the field. And when he do it, I do like this here.
Come on, man. I know how he
Did
was.
he really do what I just saw? Did he do that?
I know how Prime was in the game. How was he at practice?
He worked hard. Oh, listen.
The young Prime.
Well, this is what I'm trying to tell you. He worked extremely hard.
Yeah.
See, this is what people don't get. He worked his tail off. He the hardest working man you would have ever played with if he was on your team. He worked hard. And then when he came to Atlanta, him and I sat down and we used to watch tape together.
That's.
And when I left him with that knowledge of, bro, this is it. The game should be easy for you. It's already easy for you because you got every gift mankind can ever need to play corner. You know, when the Lord thought about you before you came here,
yes, sir.
He said the cornerback, that's him right there. Bro, let me tell you something. I ain't never seen a man.
And I tell everybody this: it's great to have a mentor, bro.
Oh, bro.
The mentor, and that's one thing. That's why I was so happy when I was around you and T-Buck, but I was on my way out the door playing.
Right.
It's just a thing, and that's what made me start my program.
Right.
To help kids have mentors.
Right.
Because people need
people need people, man.
The situation that you're going through, to sit down with them and tell them, they'll teach them the ropes.
There you go.
Let me teach you the ropes, man.
Right, exactly.
You might think you know, but it's deeper than what you think.
It's deeper what you think.
So if you set Dion down and y'all watched them together and y'all grew together, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Dion, you play how many years? Like
12. I played 12.
12 years. And
Dion played 14.
And look at that. And that's special right there because that helps everyone, man.
See, one day in the league,
I mean,
you're gonna be able to run because I was the fastest guy in the NFL draft in 1981.
Ooh.
The fastest 40 man in the draft in 1981. And so, but one day you ain't gonna be the fastest guy no more.
No.
And I'm gonna tell you something about the NFL, man. Those years go by so fast, right? Because when Dion came, I was in my 9th season. I was an old veteran. I wasn't at that point in my career. I was not even excited no more about the game. I was just going to work every Sunday. I intercept a ball. I just give it back. I don't get nobody no high five. I go sit down. Right? I go there and make a tackle. Run somebody down. I just get up. That's my job. But when Prime came to Atlanta,
come on, man,
he brought a new excitement. I'll never forget it, man, because the first game we played, and it's historic because he put one in the end zone on a punt return.
Oh, yeah, he dropped that.
That was his first game back. That boy hit a home run Friday night, caught the red eye to Atlanta. Eugene Parker had got his deal struck.
Yeah.
He came to Atlanta on a Saturday. He was in practice, and we did our walkthrough the day before game. And he was just out there, right? He had sleep in the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
And he suited up Sunday just to return kicks.
That's crazy.
Got that punt return, man, and put it in the end zone. And when he did that, before I knew it, I had jumped up like that, Leroy, and ran on the field and jump on it. I couldn't tell you the last time I had did that. You know what I'm saying? Think about all the plays I made over the years. I mean, I was picking them off, going to the end zone. I get the ball at the ref, go sit down.
You that type of person, your brother. That's like your brother.
He was my baby brother.
Yeah, your brother.
When he came to Atlanta,
brother,
I said, I got it. We were roommates.
Yeah,
we were roommates. Now, also know I was a preacher in the locker room at that time too. Because I was riding them hard, right? Fry said, Bobby, I ain't ready for that. Yeah, I'm young. I said, bro, tomorrow ain't guaranteed, bro. You need to come on in. Come on in right now. Let's pray. But look what happened though. It wasn't long later. I was out of the game. And I have always been praying for Dion, man, and because I love that boy right there. My best teammate. I'm just telling you, he's the best teammate I ever had. Now I've had some great teammates, but he's my little. I call him my little big brother. He's younger than me, but he does bigger things than his brother, right?
Yeah.
So he's my little big brother.
That is
Look, man, before we go, we don't have long. Talk to us about Diamonds in the Rough.
Oh man, I appreciate you, man. Diamonds in the Rough. It's basically a nonprofit program that I established back in 2010 in Quincy. Like I said, it stemmed from me going around with you, but I've always wanted to do things in my city. I always wanted to help my city because I understand where I come from, a rural area, Quincy, Florida, and I was blessed with the opportunity to get a scholarship to further my education and to play ball as well, and to be able to take care of my family and be around great people, And so, I after I finished playing, I met up with you guys,
right?
And you guys were doing the camps,
right?
Kids and Pros camp, and I just had a vision. You and Buddy told me, Leroy, you could do this,
Absolutely.
So in 2010, I met you guys in 2009. 2010, it was like I went to Quincy. I stood on the field and I looked around and I looked at the buildings. I watched how the city was run down.
Right.
And then I started teaching. A commissioner asked me to teach. I was like, I can't know I'd be no teacher. Then I saw things in the school system.
Right.
Like, these kids not getting this. These kids are not getting that. There's so much out there because the Lord blessed me with the opportunity to be able to play football and travel Chicago, to travel around the play, everyone to play these games and see different cultures and to be exposed to different things. So I just wanted to put some resources together to be able to help these kids. So Diamonds in the Rough is a nonprofit organization that promotes economic growth and professional development through mentorship and education. So basically, we create a path, a tailor-made plan for each individual, and we provide them with the resources they need to achieve their goals and get what they need.
Man,
so that's I've helped so many kids.
That's powerful, bro.
I've helped so many kids change their lives, man. I remember that this one story where this kid was facing a couple years in prison, probably 10 or more. And I talked with the state attorney. I said, once he was in my program, but he didn't get a chance to be in my program for a while, for a long time. So he didn't understand the values. So basically, I said he's a good kid. He just needs a little work. So they gave him a lesser sentence, and then once he got out, he got in my program. Cool. He was, and I'm gonna tell you, this kid facing 20, right? Facing 10 to 20 years or whatever, armed robbery, and he got out of. I talked to the state attorney. He gave him a lesser sentence. He got out of the judicial program that he was in. They put him back in my program. This kid, senior year, started making A's and B's. Wow! And had over 1,000 yards receiving. So my organization does not just is geared to athletics. It's geared to academics. It's geared to personal development. It's geared to the core values that we learn in football. Absolutely, accountability, responsibility, those things of that sort. So, man, we help college students. We help people get on the right track. It's
man. That's it, man.
To success. So the more money we make as individuals, the better the economy will be. Absolutely. And you got to understand it diverts kids also from going from being incarcerated. Exactly. So basically that help us with our tax dollars that we have to pay to take care of these inmates. We use these tax dollars somewhere else to be able to promote economic growth. That's what I do. Diamonds in the Rough.
Man, that's powerful, man. I thank God for people like you, Leroy, because we all need each other, man. Yes, and some of the kids, I heard someone say that a mind is not fully developed until it's about 27, 28 years of age, right? And so kids do stupid things. I was telling somebody the other day how in Delray, as a 9-year-old kid, I used to dive off this bridge and dive into this water, the Lake Outer. We had a Lake Outer Park. I used to be on this road called Lake Outer Road. I used to dive off the bridge in this water. I mean, 9 years old, me and my buddies just diving onto the bridge, not even thinking about alligators down there. That was the alligator's headquarters. Yeah. We weren't even thinking like that. Like, just not thinking at all. It doesn't say it that way. Right. And then the last time I went there, diving the bridge, after we got finished, it was about 5 of us. After we got finished, 2 other guys came because everybody did it. And one of my classmates, man, that was diving in that same spot and got caught up under there some weeds and drowned that day. Wow. I never went back. Right. Wow. Never went back. Because the mind, it's just a mind. Kids just do things what kids do. Correct. And we got to expect for kids to do what kids do. That's why we need programs like that. Because at the end of the day, you and I played football at a young age. Yes. And our coaches turned them little boys, us being little boys, into men. Because the way we were coached back in those days, parents won't take that today. No. But go ahead. Yeah, but I'm just saying. So you and I developed our manhood a lot sooner than most of our. Correct. And we grew up around the same similar places, and we was able to make better decisions based on our environment, which was football or sports at the time. So I had a meeting with these lawyers and a couple other prominent people, and I told them this is the significance of the Diamonds in the Rough program. I told them, okay, you could take a kid that's considered a bad kid, and you put him in a area where he has all the support he needs. There you go. He won't necessarily be a bad, because I got this help, I got this, I did. He might still have some of the tendencies, but after being enough for being stable in there, he will say, I don't have no need to do that. Now you could take a kid that's considered a good kid and put him in a quote unquote bad environment. Now that kid will fight the struggles. He will fight to stay good. And if he's staying there a long period of time, he's gonna adapt to his environment. He's gonna be a part of that community. There we go. So that's what it's all about, man. Because man, I can tell you, and I'm just so grateful for the men that were in my life when I was a kid. Come on now. Now I had a daddy at home. My dad was a strong father. He's a pastor. He was there. My dad supported me in everything. He didn't miss nothing that I did. I could be running track somewhere in Fort Lauderdale somewhere, and I look on the fence and there go my dad. Said I didn't know he was coming, but he never missed anything, right? And so he supported me. But but the men in the community, see, it takes a village. It takes a village. See, we got to be touched by more than. I would hope everybody would have 2 parents in the home, but we know that's not likely, right? And so, but even with that, you still need men in the community to help those kids get from point A to point B, from point B to point C. We need that kind of help. So my biggest thing to kids, I always tell them, I say, look, if you don't own but one great characteristic, come on now, I say have a good attitude, because you got to depend on other people to help you. And if your attitude ain't right, you done shot yourself in the foot. Yeah, you've got to be a kid with a good attitude, and you'll find people will help you. Correct. People will help you. You have to respect. Like me, I respect you guys on a whole other level. Like back when I was growing up, my grandma, my mom, it was built off respect. Do it because I said so. Right. It's a negotiation, right? You got it, bro. You got that. But now it's like a negotiation process. Right. I see a lot of parents go through with their kids. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which kids want to know why. But that's due to a lot of things these kids face on social media. Right.
You know, trying to live up to the standards of social media.
Right.
So you have the backlash of social media and these kids, you know, pointing fingers at their parents,
Right.
because they're not living up to the standards of status quo based on social media. So that's a whole nother story that we could go in. But that's why I do what I do, man. And but it's all starts with respect, knowing your past, knowing where you are, and having a future to look forward to. You know.
Amen. Well, that's good, man. We're gonna end on that, man. Hey, bro, Leroy, we gotta do this again, man. We gotta do it again.
I love y'all. Thank you, man.
And thank you for joining us tonight, man. A lot of people gonna watch this tonight, and I hope it means something to them. I hope it touch them. Well, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. 100 yards of football. This is our legend segment. If you like this piece tonight, hey, man, comment, share it with your friends, share it with the community. And we have the great Leroy Smith, legendary cornerback out of Florida State, with us tonight. It's been my pleasure, Leroy. God bless you, man.
God bless you, brother.